this video, I'm going to go over how you mod Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm also going to show which mods I use, and show and explain why I use those mods. This is basically for new players, and I'll try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, but there will be very minor spoilers when I explain some of these mods. But the first thing you want to do is, when you do a fresh install Mass Effect Legendary Edition, is you want to make sure that all free games are installed. Because I think they patched this and they all install at once now, but for like the first 2 years that this was out, only the first game installed when you installed Mass Effect Legendary Edition. You had to install the other two games, and they seem to have been installed here. So let's get out of here. Now, let's go into here, and here's my folder with my Mass Effect Legendary Edition mods. Now, you don't unzip any of these, first of all, because they don't need to be, and it just makes a mess. What you do want to do is, first of all, you download, and there will be a pinned comment with links to all these mods in the video description. But first thing you want to do is get the ME free Tweak a Mod Manager. Alright. You want that running. Alright. Because that's necessary to install all mods on Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So you just download these files. Yeah. You just download these files here, and you and then you basically drag and drop them here. Now, there are going to be two different types of mods. Some of the mods are just regular mods. Other mods are what I call base mods. That is, mods that are pretty much required to make other mods work. Now, this wants you to back up the games. I never do this simply because you still then you have to keep this game is rather large. It's over 100 gigabytes, and you have to have 2 copies of it sitting on your hard drive. Everything that you're going to do with the backup, you can do just by re-downloading it. And yes, it saves you time by not having to re-download it if you mess something up and have to reinstall the game. But really, I don't find it worth it. I find the cost benefit of keeping... I'd rather just go somewhere for a couple hours and do something while it re-downloads than for the rest of time have an extra like 120 gigabytes taken up on my hard drive. But that's pretty much a personal preference, I would say. Alright, so the first thing you want to do after you get the ME free Tweaks a Mod Manager is install the community patches. Yeah. Because those are necessary to for yes. And did I accidentally let's see, yeah, let me just find where it put them here. Did it not download? Did I just lose them? Did I just lose them in all of this? Oh no, here it is. Yeah. And yeah. And yeah, it's going to ask you, no, install this mod without a backup. Yeah, because again, as I said, I just don't find it worthwhile to do it that way. And as you can see, you're just going to keep it's gonna take it takes a while with these because these are rather larger, and then so it's going up with so yeah. So as you can see, this is pretty much the process for installing all mods. But I'm going to show you the process for Alright, so yeah. So yeah, as you can see, you just bring in the zipped folders here. So it seems it wants me to go and get an update for this mod. Okay, so I'll be right back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I've finished installing all of the mods. Now, the next thing you want to do, I want to find it in here, is you want to install the expanded galaxy map mod for Mass Effect 3. And that is because, again, a lot of the future mods will be using assume that you have this installed. So, yep. So yeah, you want to install this. And again, as you can see, it's a very easy process. I'm not really a programmer, and I've never been intimidated by it. In fact, I've used this to mod textures myself. In the past, I've changed Tally's photo using this. Yeah. And then you're going to get a bunch of settings for this that it's going to ask you what you want done. Yeah, I just keep it mostly on default for all of this stuff. Yeah, Gareth. And yeah, just finish. And yeah. Now, the next thing you want is the Spectre expansion mod. Because again, that's another one that it's going to assume. And this adds a bunch of new stuff you can do. And as you can see, that installed really quick. And now the L1 diversification project. This is one that I really like because it adds a lot more. It adds a lot of new aliens and just other things to do in the game. Okay, not sure why it's doing that. It never required that before. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go get those two mods that now the latest version of this requires. So just give me a second. So yeah, I got those. This is getting annoying. I really hate this because I didn't really like the hair in the Outer Worlds, and now to use a rather popular mod on Mass Effect Legendary Editions, they're now forcing you to use a mod that puts that same annoying hair into it, and I'm like, why? Why? But it is what it is. So now we can finally get one diversification project. I really hope the L3 one doesn't. Okay, so yeah. So you want to do all of these first, I guess, now. They keep changing this stuff. So first, I want to go through and do mellow, because that restores a bunch of a bunch of this stuff, a bunch of the lighting effects to the original game. So yeah. I'll be back after I've installed all these mods, and then I'll go over them really quick, why I use them. Alright, so I'll see you then. Okay, real quick, I'm going to show you how to mod textures here, because that works somewhat differently. First of all, textures you do have to extract, and you'll have, if you see me highlighting here, these ones marked .mem. And those will be the textures. Now you go into tools, and you go into mod maker for Legendary Edition, and then you go into texture modding, and you go into install texture mods, and it's going to give you a warning that these changes can't be undone easily. Then you're going to go to add to list, and you go here. You select the mod, you select the texture mod you want for the game. Alright, you select it here, install selected texture mods, and it's going to take a few minutes. These actually take longer to do than any other mod. And it's just going to go like this for a few minutes. And when it is done, it'll say texture mods installed, or it will say that it failed to. It says that they want you to do it last, but I found that they won't install if you do it last, so I do it somewhere in the middle, and it always seems to work for me that way. So this is just, it's a little more involved, a little different. That's why I'm going out of my way to show this one. And yeah, this is just how it works. Alright, so hope you find that helpful. Okay, as you can see, I've installed all the mods. They're running. This is an alternate outfit from Tally I installed. And it's running just fine. Yeah, as you can see, you normally can't see Tally's face at all. I installed a mod so that you can see her face through the mask, and yeah. So this is working. So now I'll just go through and I'm going to recommend some mods to first-time players. And you see, that's another mod right there that does a better job of it updates your journal, so it does a better job of tracking what you're doing. So yeah, I'm going to exit the game right now. Now that we see that the mods all work. And now I'm going to go through just a few of them. I'm not going to go through every single one, because a lot of these are optional. A lot of these are just, they just change appearances and whatnot. So but here are a few, like this one. Copy. the immersive Thessia mod. It makes the one mission in Mass Effect 3 much harder, and it gives you a greater variety of enemies to deal with. And I really like that. The other one, in the third game, you don't get to see the character of Miranda a lot, and this adds her to more missions in the game after a certain point. And this is especially if you romanced her in Mass Effect 2. It, it means that you still get to talk to her quite a bit in Mass Effect 3. Again, another one I recommend is no shared power cooldowns. When you use your powers in the Mass Effect games, you can use one, and then you have to wait for them to recharge before you can use another one. But and that was fine with game balancing in Mass Effect 1, but in Mass Effect 2, they decided to change grenades from being their own unique weapon with their own unique button to being in Mass Effects 2 and 3, to being to counting as a power. So that means that, for instance, if you get into a tight situation and you need to get something out of your face, something heavily armored out of your face by throwing a grenade, if you throw that grenade and then you need to heal yourself, you have to wait for the cooldown, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. Why I should have to wait to use a grenade after that? That doesn't make much in the way of sense. Again, here's another one. Omega Hub. This adds the asteroid of Omega as a hub that you can dock at and interact and even get quests from in Mass Effect 3. So, yeah, that gives you some new game content. Take Back Earth makes Take Back Earth makes winning the final battle in Mass Effect 3. It makes it more intense and makes it feel more epic, which, since it's the final battle in a whole trilogy, that makes sense to me. And yeah, there is a lot of these are just fixes. A lot of these ones are just fixes to bugs that never got fixed by BioWare. So yeah, so so that's what I would. Dreams Remade is one that I would really, really recommend, because it makes dream sequences in Mass Effect 3 far more immersive, and it links them directly to Shepard's personal journey instead of just being generic cost of war stuff, and it makes the rather boring dream sequences much more interesting. But yeah, the and I already talked about the Spectre expansion mod and the Galaxy expansion mod. Those two, I think you just have to get. But here's the one that's my absolute favorite. Like most people, I did not like the ending to Mass Effect 3, and it doesn't really bother me anymore because I've been playing with this modded ending since I think mid 2013 when it launched. So yeah, this is on Mass Effect 3, and now it's for this one. So I definitely recommend Aldomos's Happy Ending mod. So yeah, that's how you mod Mass Effect 3, both Mass Effect Legendary Editions, both regular mods and um, texture mods, and those are the mods I recommend. As I said, there'll be a link on a pinned comment to all these mods in the video, just below the video. So try them out if you're new to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I know that there are a lot of new people since it's been going on sale quite a bit. So, yeah, again, if this is your first time playing, enjoy. I think you're going to have fun, especially with these mods that vastly improve these already great games. Thank you to everyone who made the mods, and thank you to everyone who watched, and I'll see you next time.